Today you're going to learn how to cut turf for door-to-door canvassing. Now you're going to first log on to votebuilder.com and go to the home screen. And you want to use a list. So you're either going to create a new list and then cut turf, or you're going to go to a list that you've just created, or you're going to go to your folders to find a previous list. And I'm going to use the list that I created there with only 48 people because I just want to cut a small turf so you can see how it's done. Now, once you click on your list, you're going to have all these options at the top. And what you want to do is select Cut Turf and press that. When you do that, you're going to get a map of all the homes in your turf, all the residences. And you want to break this into sections that are walkable. You want to be aware where major roads are, where canals are, where rivers are, and make it very easy for a canvasser to go from home to home. And usually turfs are about 20 homes, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what you're doing. So what you want to do is decide where your first turf is going to be, and you're going to click on the map, and then you're going to click again, and you'll get a line. And notice on the left, you can zoom in and out with the plus and the minus. And you want to surround your turf by clicking. So there I've made 3 clicks. And then you close it out by clicking on your very first spot again. And you have to close it out in order to complete it. Now this one's green. And if you look at the legend, it says Turf 1. And you see there are 17 voters and 16 homes. You can stretch your turf out by going to the line and dragging it. And that way you can create a weirdly shaped turf. It doesn't have to be a rectangle. It can have a point or something like that. So go ahead and you get all of the homes you want in the turf in this territory. And I just wanted to point out that you can go back and erase a point. You can erase a line. You have those tools up in the left-hand corner. You can also hover over the turf and you'll get a trash can, so you can discard the whole thing. And that happens a lot because it's kind of like a puzzle how to do it best. Now I cut 3 different turfs, and I moved the legend to the lower left because it was in the way. And you can see each turf has the number of voters followed by the number of residences, and each one has a color assigned to it. When you have your turfs the way you want them, you save and finish in the top right corner. Now, once you save it, you put it in a folder that is already existing from the drop-down menu, or you can create a new folder. You name your turf, and you can describe it if you want, like I have here. Once you've done that, you save it in the bottom right-hand corner. Once you save it, you get a list of your turfs. Where it says Precinct 502 and it's bold, if you click that, it'll get all the turfs you just created. You could select an individual one, but we want to print them all out. So you want to click that box at the top, and notice when that's clicked that it also clicks the other turfs. I had cut 3 turfs. Then you want to select Print for Minivan from the Quick Actions drop-down menu on the top right. That's the way I like to do it. There are many other ways, but that way you can set up clipboards and you're ready for your canvassers, and you can see who shows up and assign them a clipboard and assign them a turf that way. I think it's the most efficient way of doing it. Then you're going to have to select Next. And here we have to name it. We have to first of all pick a report format, and I chose Walking List Default. You can preview it and see what it is. Choose a script that makes sense from the drop-down menu. I chose 2024 Dem VBM Enrollment Walk. Contacted How is Walk, and you title it, and you can select a minivan campaign if there is one that's appropriate. I didn't see an appropriate one. Now there's a default sort order that comes up, but I don't like it. So I would suggest you clear the sort order. And then redo it, starting with street name and you want to click ascending, and you want to show a group header so that you can actually see all the people on that same street. And it will be alphabetical, but that doesn't matter. It's not going to be that many people. You can decide what order you want to do the streets in, but it just lists them in alphabetical order. And then street number ascending. And if there are apartments, put in apartment and make that ascending. At the bottom, it defaults usually to the correct thing, single row, print map with markers. And now you're going to print. Now your PDF is being created. It will be almost instantaneous. So then you want to click on My PDF Files, and you will get a list of your PDF files. The one you just created will be the first one. So you want to click that one in the box, Precinct 502 VBM renewal for me, and you want to download the file. When you download it, you'll get a PDF. The very first sheet is a sign out sheet for all the turfs. So canvassers can sign out the turf. They can get their list number there if they want. They can give you their phone number. They can give you the time they signed out and signed back in, a number of attempts and contacts if you want to do that. Now you're going to have your turfs. Each turf will include a script as the first page or two. This one, it's the first 2 pages. Now the script is also in Minivan, but a lot of people like to have it on a piece of paper. The next page will be a map. And in the top right hand, at the top right is the list number, and you use this number to pull up the turf in Minivan. So the canvasser can enter that into Minivan, and in Minivan they'll get a script, they'll get a map, and they can go ahead and also get a list of all the voters. If they're not familiar with the area, I would suggest they choose a house to start at and put that address into Google Maps so they can find their starting address, and then after that they can just use Minivan from there on in. But Google Maps is a really good way to get to the first home. Now you're going to put the script and the map for each turf on a clipboard, and any other materials you may need like VBM forms or anything like that. You have canvassers sign out on the first sheet and use the list number to access the turf in Minivan. And I've included a link on how to set up a door-to-door canvas. And this just goes through the steps. It looks like a lot, but it really isn't a lot, on what you do beforehand, what to put on clipboards, what to do at the launch site, how to get started, what to go over with the canvassers, and what to do at the end. It's not necessary you do that, but you'll be able to access it through the PowerPoint. And if you want, just email me at blairps@gmail.com, and I can send you that. I can share that with you. And now you know how to set up a door-to-door canvas.